Okay, go ahead. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Euganie, aka Pretty Stushy, and this is another tutorial for you guys. It's gonna be like a bronze glam, soft glam look. So if you want to see how I created this look step by step, continue watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below. Bye. Okay, so we are starting off with the Maria Badescu Rose Water Facial Spray. You're going to get that all over the face. Going to just use a brush to just make sure that's evenly spread throughout the skin. Once you've done that, then we are going to moisturize the skin, and we're using the It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream moisturizer for this part. I put a little too much, but you know, she said her skin was feeling dry, girl, and you know I'm about to use a lot of powders, so I said, you know what, let me moisturize her very well. You also can go in with a beauty blender to really make sure that is pressed into the skin. Okay, so now we're going to be priming the skin, and I decided to use the Tasha Silk Canvas Primer to prime her entire face. This is the only primer I'm using today, and once again, we're going to make sure that is evenly spread throughout the skin. Also going to use a beauty blender to ensure that that is really pressed into the skin as well. Now we are going to be going with NARS Orgasm Illuminator, and I haven't really used this product before. It was a good recommendation, so I purchased it. So one thing I will say is, you know, start off light with it, because it was creating a teensy bit of patchiness for me around her mouth area, and also make sure you blend it out really well. So I did go in with the beauty blender, but don't like too much swiping, more so pushing it into the skin. I noticed worked better. Now, normally I don't color correct, but I decided to do a little bit around her mouth area, which is the only part of her face I felt like had a little bit of darkness to it, and that is a Makeup Forever HD concealer that we're using. Gonna just apply it and blend it out quickly, because that sucker was already drying by the time I got to my beauty blender. Okay, so now we are going in with the foundation. I didn't show them, but I did list them on the screen. The Lancome is what I am putting on first. It is a darker color, so that I'm putting on the outer edges of her face. Gonna be like the forehead area, the chin, and all that good stuff. And then after that, I'm gonna go into the center of her face with the Fit Me foundation. I really love the Fit Me foundation, especially mixed with another higher end brands. Even by themselves, they can really work out, especially for a nice day look. So I did apply the Fit Me in the middle, and we were discussing it and saying, you know, this is her color in Fit Me, but I still, for my personal preference, would have wanted to go a little bit darker in the Fit Me, because I know by the time I highlight, it's gonna lighten her face. So, you know, I wanted to have more darkness in the foundation, but you'll see I go a little bit more extra in the contour to make up for that. So you're just basically stippling in, not even stippling, you could stipple, but just pressing it into the skin. I went over all parts of the face, and once I was done, whatever I put on my hand, poured extra and only applied it to the areas that needed additional coverage. Alright, so now we're going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I only ended up using 2 colors. I know I showed 3 on the screen, but I only ended up using the 2 that was listed, because the other color that was going to work. So we're going in first with the lighter color, and I'm just gonna apply that to the skin. Once I am satisfied with that coverage level, then I will go in with the slightly darker color just along the perimeter, along the edges, so that way I can blend it a little bit more seamlessly into the foundation. That way it's not just going from like light to foundation dark, but more so like light to a slightly color that's in between both the concealer and the foundation color, just for a better blend. You guys will see that in a second. Alright, so we're going to contour using the black opal stick in foundation stick in ebony brown, and you're going to notice that I contoured, but I kind of felt like I did it a little too low. So when I start to set the face, I'm actually gonna like carve out underneath the contour a little bit higher than normal. I really wanted to go higher than this, and as I was doing her face, I realized I was a little low, but you know, we work with what we gotta work with. So with this contour also, we're putting a little bit into the eye area, into the crease area, just to create like a natural contour on the eye as well. And I want like that area by the eye to kind of like roll seamlessly. I don't even know if that's the right word, roll, but you get what I'm saying. Roll seamlessly into her temple area, so we don't have like any major disconnection between the eye area and the temple area. So if you get what I'm doing, mostly everything is based off of creating a seamless effect on the skin. Alright, so now we're ready to blend out the concealer. We're going to start with the edges. I'm using the foundation brush. I'm going to tell you right now, going further, that foundation brush is going to be used extensively because we want to make sure that our different parts of the face are blended well together. So I'm starting off with that, and then I will move into the beauty blender to get the rest of the concealer. But like I said, I'm using everything hand in hand, and it's kind of like a back and forth process. You can see where you need to blend when you're doing someone's face or your own face, so you just have to use your judgment. You can clearly see, but just know that you have to just go through the phases. So we're starting off with that brush edges first, then we'll go into the actual not contour, the highlighted areas themselves. So there was another class I take, and I know I talk a lot about taking classes, but there was another class I took and it focused primarily, excuse me, that's the Morphe Set and Spray. We're gonna spray that before we blend out the highlighted areas. So the instructor, she kept the highlighted areas very strong. Like, she didn't really blend them out like hard, you know, so you could still clearly see the highlighted area like how you could see it now. She focused mostly on the area where it moves into the forehead, like for example, like the edge of the highlight area and where the contour begins. She focused mostly on blending that, so keep that in mind. I was trying a little bit of technique here, some new techniques. So hopefully it came out the way it was supposed to, and hopefully you guys like it. So we're adding a little bit more of a highlighted, lighter look underneath the eyes using Tarte Shape Tape and tan. And we're just focusing that primarily underneath the eye. And even for me, I wanted to use less than what I used here, but it is what it is. Because you don't want to have to blend out too much. So we're just making the highlight a little bit more bright and intense. To contour, we are using the AJ Crimson foundation palette, and the pan I used was the one in the bottom row in the middle to contour with. And we're just starting with the product right there by the part of the nose that is near the eye area. So don't be worried. It looks like it could be quite a bit, but to be honest with you, it really blends out, and it's just all about blending because everything is liquid or cream at this point. We have no powders in place yet, so you can play around with it. Just, you know, blend it out into the eyebrow area, blend it out a little bit into the eye, and don't have to be like completely neat. You know, you're gonna blend that sucker out. We're trying to create a shadow look, which is the whole purpose of that nose contour, child. So I'm using the Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder. This is the new powder that came with the concealer set, and I'm just going to make sure we get those creases out first, and I'm just going to apply that with a fluffy brush underneath the eye area first before setting. This is a technique that I wanted to do when I first had this powder and never got a chance to, so I'm glad I got a chance to do it this time. It does smooth out the under eye very well. You want to make sure your client keeps their eyes looking up while you're applying this. Keep their eyes looking up when you do apply the powder, which is a mix of AC Cosmetics Butternut Beige and Dermablend Translucent. And I'm just going to apply that. Then I blend that powder in. I push it into the skin. And you always can go over with a little bit more if you need, but I'm not going to because I'm actually going to do another powder on top of this powder. Okay, so here I'm going in with the Born This Way Translucent Medium Setting Powder. It has more of a golden tone, yellow tone to it. So we're adding that on top, and I'm really getting that powder into the skin, which I usually don't do this, but I'm trying a new technique, child. I'm trying something new. And this is the powder that's going to be on the skin while I basically do the eye and eyebrows and all that good stuff. So we are using Mocha Mami by Fenty Beauty bronzer, and that is what we're going to use for the transition color. I'm basically placing the color in a little bit above the crease area. Then I'm blending it out. We're going to make sure we blend that into the front part of the eyebrow area as well, and we're going to also bring it a little bit down onto the nose as well. So this is just a process I'm going to repeat a couple of times until it's blended or it looks great the way I want it. I love using this bronzer because it blends so easily, and it's like a great transition color. It's like a great color to just like have on the lid. It's just like perfect. So we're also going to blend that color a little bit into the temple area as well. Using the Steel Heavens Hue Magnificent Highlighter, and we're going to use that as the first shimmer on the eye. I want to note that I've only used one shadow on the eye, which was the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami, and then we're going straight to shimmer. This is a nice, really soft glam eye, which is very easy to do. You can use any highlighter you have. So we're going to put Artist Couture Diamond Glow on top of the other color. This is just going to add a nice little extra shimmer to it. The first shimmer we used was like more of like a pressed highlighter. This is actually like a loose one. So what happened is I take my brush, I place it in the highlighter first, and then I spray it lightly with that mist from Morphe, and then I place it on the lid, and you're just kind of working it into the lid, kind of blending it into the crease area. Don't overtake the crease, of course, but just kind of work it and blend it in so that it looks seamless. So in the moment, I decided to give her a liner, which is, I'm using Inglot number 77, and I'm actually gonna smoke this liner out. It is very simple and easy to do. You just simply do your liner, but right away you apply powder before the liner is completely dry. That will help smoke it out and give it that smoked out look. And I'm using the Mocha Mami to smoke it out. As you can see, like I said, this is such a simple look using the least amount of products for this eye look. And you can use anything you have in your collection. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same things or the exact same brands. So for the inner corner, I wanted to brighten it up just a smidget. So I'm applying Tempura, the color Tempura from the ABH palette, which looks really, really great. And then right after, we are going to start the eyebrows. So let me tell you all about these eyebrows now. I started using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist pencil because I was hearing so many great things about it, but to be honest with you, I know I should stick with the evil that I know, child. Maybe I need to learn how to use this product. It is okay, because I have a lot of eyebrow pencils that I don't use, and I was like, I'm gonna use these things before I purchase anything more. So that's why I said, okay, let me use this brow stylist. Then I ended up going with another one right there, which I don't remember the name of that one exactly. And then I went back to my tried and true Benefit brow pencil in number 5. Stick to what we know, child. Stick to what we know. So I like the Benefit because I realized I talked a lot about why I didn't like those products. Let me tell you why I like the Benefit. It's just easier to use. Like, as soon as I create a line, the line is there. It's not, I don't have to work up to create a line or to create the hero-like strokes that I like. That's the reason why I like the Benefit. It's very sharp. It allows me to create what I need to create without a lot of work. Okay, so this is the reason why I really love the Benefit products. I think they really got it right. The other ones are okay. I think they're great to use in addition to this because the combination together is great, but I really need this to start out to create a structure right away without having to do so much work. So I'm going to clean up underneath the eyebrows using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Deep. And we're just going to lightly clean them up. Once you have them blended out, then you want to go back in with the bronzer product that you use and just kind of mesh those areas together so you don't have like that hard line of demarcation right there. Also, if you watch my last video, then I will tell you this, I am much more satisfied with the eyebrows in this video. Going in with the Juvia's Place palette, the Zulu palette, I'm going to use that to warm the face up. You already know this is what I like to use when it comes to just bring some warmth back into the face. I'm going to use that in the contoured areas and also forehead area as well. All right, so I want to explain what I'm doing in the next couple of actions that you're going to see just now. I'm basically meshing the under eye using the continuous mist setting spray to kind of mesh all the powdered areas together. I'm also going to spray a smaller brush so I could get underneath the eye, because I did use quite a bit of powder, more powder than I'm used to using. And if you watch my previous video, then you'll know my technique to avoid flashback is to press that under eye in with the foundation brush. So that's me setting it now with the mist, and I'm gonna go back in with the foundation brush just to make sure everything is pressed in. Now we're gonna deepen the contour with the Juvia's Place Deuce palette. We're gonna use that darker color mostly towards the area closer to the ear. We're gonna add that in just to deepen the contour just a little bit. I'm not somebody who goes super heavy with like a super contoured face and all that good stuff. I'm probably a little bit lighter. People always be like, you could use more product, but this is just how I am. So you just blending that out. Now we're going in with the Stila Bronze highlighter, the highlighter in bronze. I really love these Stila highlighters. They're just so great. So that's gonna be our first highlight layer. We're adding that in. Also gonna put a little bit on the forehead, just to kind of, I just wanted like a nice bronzy, glowy face. So I'm just lightly adding that in on the forehead. We're gonna put some on the nose area as well, and the cheeks, and not the cheeks, oh my god, the chin and the tip of the top of the mouth as well. So I'm using the MAC Faux Shore Extra Dimension blush, and this is what I'm going to use to mesh that bronzer, I mean not the bronzer, the highlight that I just used along with the contoured area of the face. I want to make sure everything looks good together, and you know I love this blush, child. I use it in every single video. And this is what I mentioned earlier, if you watched that part of the video where I just cleaned up underneath the cheek area, and I kind of did it a little bit higher because I felt like I had it too low, making her face look longer. So to blend that out, I used the matte mineralized skin finish in dark tan just to get that blended out. I didn't really keep it on the face too long. I just kind of wanted to clean it up that area a little bit. So to do her lip, I wanted to do a matte lip today. So I used ColourPop's Lippy in Kai, both the liner and the matte lip, which they do not have anymore because I went looking for it. But I had this for some time and never used it, so I was like, I need to start using this stuff that I have just sitting here. And I think it went perfect with the look. It went perfect with the eye look and the whole aesthetic that I was going for. I did everything, the lashes off camera. Everyone at this point should know how to put on lashes, but if you do need me to show you or do a video on that, I can. Just let me know in the comment bar down below. So this is the completed look. This is cell phone footage. This has the flash on, honey. Okay, all the cell phone footage you're gonna see right now is with the flash on, and you're gonna see one without, with just all the light. So if you want to see more videos like this, guys, please like and subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can know when I post new videos. I really love doing these little tutorials, so I'm thinking of incorporating them more and more into my channel. But let me know what you guys think of how the look came out. If you have any questions about this process, you can let me know down below. Also, if you need more product information, you can let me know down below as well. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.